What's going on, everybody? So today we are back with our first impressions of the Barbarian class. Now, I've been playing this class quite a bit. I've gotten like 30 hours or so under my belt for the Barbarian over the past couple of days. Actually, past few days, rather. And a lot of that's been Vault. A lot of that's been just open world farming and a little bit of dungeons here and there. Now, I do not have a lot of legendary items. You can see here, I've been getting a lot of dupes. So I have about 5 or 6 helmets. I got 3 chest pieces. I have a couple of 4 chest pieces, 5 helmets or something like that. And then I have 4 pants, 2 main hands, 3 main hands, and then 0 offhands. Actually, I have 1 offhand equipped, so that is not necessarily true. I have 1 offhand, and that is going to be the remembered here. So we're missing so many different legendary items, so I haven't been really able to experiment too much with the Barb and all the skills. I've basically been running this exact same build the past 5 days. I've been running Whirlwind with Wrath of the Berserker, Hammer of the Ancients, Sprint, and then Frenzy. Very standard, very standard PvE kind of damage dealing, solo farming content type build. Pretty simple, and really I have everything that you kind of need for this build. I have the Spirit of the Ancients, I have the Wrath of the Berserker, I have a little modification from the shoulders, which reduces movement speed, which is completely useless. There's a lot of legendary items that could be helpful. I am running the Stormbringer Whirlwind with the Gathering, so I do happen to have those, which is really interesting, so that is cool. And I also have the Frenzy active, which I really like. And then I have the sprint duration from Sprint. So very cool here. I've been just running around and I'm really enjoying it. Now, a few reasons why I really enjoy the Barb, especially compared to the Necro here. Now, I've really enjoyed the Satyr, the Wizard, and Barb as soon as I jumped onto those classes. The one thing about the Barb over the Wizard and the Satyr, because all 3 of them move quite quickly. Barb with the Sprint, Furious Charge and Leap, Satyr with the Horse, and then Wizard with the Teleport. But with the Barb, Wrath of the Berserker is one of the most fluid and fun moves in the entire game. Now, if you've watched my video on Vithu's Urges, then you know that if you pop Vithu's Urges, you get that 30% attack speed buff, and it is just absolutely absurdly fast attacks as well as channels. Now, Wrath of the Berserker increases our attack speed by 50%. So you can just watch here as just how slowly I go through my Whirlwind channel duration. If I pop Wrath of the Berserker, this instantly is extremely fast, and it feels so fluid, really nice. And the same thing works with like Furious Charge, with Leap. All of my animations are sped up when I pop Wrath of the Berserker, and it's honestly just a really fun experience. It's just fun. Not only that, but Sprint lasts for like 7 seconds right now. And I'm just charging around everywhere, which is really cool. I plan on reforging my gear pieces to go for beneficial effect duration, for higher sprint, higher Wrath of the Berserker, etc. I really would like to get a 4-piece Vithu's, as well as a 6-piece Grace set, and a 6-piece Mountbank set. I want all 3 of those sets. I'm gonna have to farm for those soon. But overall, it's been a really enjoyable experience. Now, there's a few things that I am still missing, which have made the kind of content a little bit awkward. I'm missing the Furious Charge that makes people get knocked up, which basically means I can't really PvP as effectively with the Furious Charge build if I wanted to run that. So that's a huge one. I'm also missing several different items simply for buffing up some of my skills here. If we just scroll through here, obviously I like the helmet that I have on that's going to increase my sprint duration, so I have been using that. But Lasting Hate is something that I could definitely use for like dungeons, for example, something like that. Also for the shoulders, I am running, I can't remember which one I'm running. I'm running, I believe the Doom of the Cowed here, the one that reduces movement speed. So I would really like to have like Dama's Cyclone or the Coming Storm or something like that, which would have amplified all my skills here. In the chest piece slot, I am liking the Gathering. I don't think I would really change anything here for, generally speaking, just open world farming, maybe go with like Ferocious Gale, something like that for dungeons. For the pants here, there's a few things that I'm really missing here. Again, I am missing Screaming Fury, which is going to be the big one for PvP content. After that, something like Swift Wing here could be very good for dungeon content, or giving Vithus to everyone. After that, the main hand, Svat's Reach, is actually something that I really want to check out as a farming build. So that is something very interesting. Eager Maelstrom is what I'm running. I actually really enjoy Northwind. After that, I'm not quite sure down here if this is super interesting or something that's super good. I want to try Lunatic Twin out because this could be very good. Maddening as well. It was very cool for my open world farming build. And then lastly, the offhand here is super important. I am running the Remembered, which is a very good one, but I also would very much like to have like Broken Soul to try that one out, and Virulent Fist to have my cleave start exploding people for a farming build potential. So there's a lot of things I really want to try out, and it's taking me some time to go ahead and get those legendary items. I have been farming quite a bit, as I've mentioned. So we're going to get there eventually, and we'll be able to go ahead and get to that health 5 and then really get a boost of gear. You can see here in my stash, I don't have a crazy amount of it. It's been really hard to find a group for health 5, so it's very slow going here. I also have one item in my inventory here, so maybe I can get a cool shoulder piece. Maybe that's Dama Cyclone, actually. I think that is. Let's see here. It is. So we actually do get a copy of Dama Cyclone. It isn't that much better. If there's items here that are like 10 combat rating more when I get to health 5, I just immediately extract their essence so I can start using their essence immediately. And Dama Cyclone is something that I think is worth doing because I believe the shoulder right now is completely worthless for me, at least in PvE content. So we're going to pick that up, and that's going to increase our whirlwind damage, which is really nice. So overall, super excited. I do want to try out a bunch of stuff. I actually really want to go for a grab type build and just mess around in PvP. Honestly, but I first off need to get those legendary items. So we're going to continue on farming. I just want to give you my first impressions for the Barb. I'm really enjoying it. In fact, this is probably my favorite class, my favorite first impression so far. As I mentioned, I really did enjoy both the Satyr and the Wizard when I was playing them, but specifically for the Barb here, this has been super fun for all the reasons that I mentioned, specifically for the attack speed increase. And I'm really excited to get those set pieces and then dive into it again, because those absolutely change your character and how you play it, especially if I were to get a 4-piece Vithu set or a 4-piece Grace set, because those things are going to smack. And eventually, I'll have my buff duration so high that it's going to be super good. Highly recommend you go for Beneficial Effect duration on the Barb. It's going to extend your sprint. It's going to extend your Wrath of Berserker. It's going to extend your Undying Rage, which could be some insane bonuses as far as I know. So definitely looking for that. And I'll be continuing to farm, and I'll give you an update then with all my testing and my experiences. I know Necro was a little short, and as I mentioned, I'll have a Necro guide out soon from what I've gone and learned from the class, but hopefully I'll do a little bit more justice to the Barb, and we may return to the Necro when the time comes. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button and go ahead and sub to the channel, and I'll see you for the next video.